Welcome back to another video. We still have no budget on the channel, but we have all of this stuff, as you can see on this camera. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if I'm in frame or not. That camera doesn't have a flip out screen, but today we are cooking cake. Now, the only issue is I didn't look up a recipe for this. We're just gonna shove shit in here and hope that it makes a cake. Now, from knowledge, cake has a certain amount of things in it, you know? It's got flour, which I obviously have, milk sometimes, sugar, one of this one or this one. Here's sugar. I want a chocolate cake, so we need the chocolate goodness. Sometimes they got oil, sometimes, you know, they use butter. We got both. We're not gonna use both, we're gonna pick one. And vanilla, good for flavor, right? Well, oh, eggs. I almost completely forgot about eggs. I don't know how many eggs to use, but I think 3 should be good. So, let's make a cake with no recipe. Even though I don't have a recipe, we're gonna measure. This is a 1 cup. Now we're gonna open up this good old thing of flour. Self-raising flour, because we want this cake to, you know, poofy poof. So we're gonna go like, you know, 1 cup of flour-ish. Maybe we should sift it. 2, and we'll go for 3. Why not? 3-ish cups of flour. That's a lot of flour. Ooh, that's a lot of flour. Now, I believe you put all the dry ingredients in first and then mix in the wet shit. So, we've got like 3 cups of flour in here. It's a bowl of flour. Basically a cake. I'm kidding. I'm not that dumb, alright? We need some amount of chocolate. We'll use like half a cup, you know? Okay, we need sugar. Cane sugar. They're both cane sugar. They're both sugar. I want to use brown sugar. It's like better and shit, right? We're gonna put some brown sugar in my cake. If I can open the fucking thing. Like this much. A cup of sugar. Let's just use a cup of brown sugar, you know? Remember, this is my own recipe that I've never done before, so this might turn out horrible, it might turn out amazing. Maybe I could put more cocoa powder. I like chocolate in my cake. We're gonna put another half cup. We're gonna make it 1 cup of cocoa powder, alright? Those are our dry ingredients. 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, brown sugar, and 1 cup of cocoa powder, which just seems reasonable, right? Oil goes in a cake, right? Half a cup of oil? For now, we'll go for half a cup of oil. 1 cup of milk. So half a cup of oil, 1 cup of milk, and 3 eggs. 1 hand, you see? Look at that. We'll go like 3 eggs. 3 eggs sounds like a good number. 3 something size eggs. That seems about right. And the step I forgot. Preheating the oven to Hey Google, what temperature should I cook cake at?
On the website nigella.com, they say the majority of cakes are baked in a regular oven at 180°C on the center shelf of the oven.
We're gonna cook it at about 180, just based on a hunch, you know. I'm thinking probably more. Definitely more. A cup of oil in this cake. And 1.5 cups of milk. That sounds about right. That should work. I hope. It's got 3 eggs, a cup of oil, 1.5 cups of milk. I think that's a cake. And 3 cups of flour, a cup of cocoa, cup of brown sugar. I think that's all I put in. Shouldn't eat it, it's got raw egg, you get salmonella, I don't care. Should do with another half cup of sugar. Needs to be sweet, you know, it's cake. This is gonna be so sweet, someone's gonna die eating this. They were like, damn, that was an amazing cake. And then they'll die, but they're gonna love it. Okay, that is just gonna, okay, fine. We don't care about mess here in this kitchen. We care about our recipes being made. I'll make people try this tonight. And I'll be like, I made cake, please eat it. And they'll be like, damn, that's pretty good. I'm like, yeah, I made it without a recipe. I don't want to go for another These are like medium eggs. If you use large eggs, use 3, but I'm using 1 more because these are like smaller eggs. I don't know why I'm saying this like someone's gonna follow this. Do not follow this recipe. You will probably die of something. It looks like cake mix. Ah, this is working. That tastes like cake mix. I think I haven't fucked up too bad yet. We gotta prep the pan. This is a 2-piece pan, which is kind of annoying, but could work out great. We're gonna get some butter and rub it all around our pan. We need a knife. My mum always prepped the cake pan by rubbing butter, not like this by the way. She rubbed it like with not the messy way. We're gonna grease up the other part, you see, like this. You just give it a good rub. A good rub of grease on it. And I think I need more. We want a nice non-stuck cake. All right, now we're gonna use shitty flour. Just the plain flour. Because I have a lot of plain flour for some reason. And we're gonna like dust it and then just like, you know, tap around. Just gonna make sure the flour covers all the butter because we don't want it to stick. Basically, you want it to look like that. Like if you're making a pizza, you don't want the pizza to stick. Cake, you don't want the cake to stick. Very simple. Now, we got a cake and pan and we just lock them in together. And we'll finish it off with a bit more flour. Because we really, like when I'm saying I don't want this to stick, I really don't want it to stick. To me, that looks like a nicely floured cake pan. No stickage going on in here at all. Now comes the fun part. We gotta get this cake mix in the pan. Pour it in. I'm thinking that this might work out better than I hoped. Should be right. Like, look, if we have a good taste of this, like, that's definitely gonna turn into cake. Oh my god. That tastes so much like cake. You don't even know. As far as I'm aware, this is gonna turn into a great cake. Oh my god, it tastes so good. A very simple step with any cake recipe or any baking recipe. Wait for your oven to preheat. It's preheated now. Get your cake. Chuck her in the oven and hope she cooks. How long do we cook it? I don't know, we'll find out. We're gonna make some goddamn icing or frosting or whatever it turns into. But we're gonna make something to put on this cake. Let's get to it. Icing, frosting, cake stuff. Thing that goes on cake. Here's a bowl. Here's some measuring cups. Here's some chocolate. Here's some icing mixture, which I think we're gonna need. About a cup. Ish. Get in there. Maybe 2 cups of icing sugar, powdered sugar. It's all the same shit. Alright, there we go. 2 cups of icing mixture, or icing sugar, or powdered sugar. It's all the same shit. I don't care if it says it's different. It's basically just sugar, right? Half a cup of cocoa powder. Half a cup seems reasonable, you know. Alright, then we grab some butter. How much butter do we need? 100-ish grams of butter in. It definitely needs more wet ingredients. Maybe a 1/3 cup of milk. I think a 1/3 cup of milk might do it. A 1/3 cup of milk is what we're gonna go with. And we're gonna hope that milk just disappeared in there. Holy shit. It just looks like chocolate sludge. I feel like I've gone wrong somewhere. Where have I gone wrong? Probably a lot of places, I mean. Believe it or not, this whole time I've had this, which I could have used. But it wouldn't have been as entertaining. It would have just made it not as amazing video. But we're getting desperate. And what mode does this want for like that kind of shit? Doesn't say, we're just gonna turn it way up. And now, It's really, my mix is not that loud, but we're gonna hope that something happens. Another 50-ish grams of butter, maybe. That's something like that. Another some amount of sugar. Just make it the same amount. Vanilla extract and salt in like chocolate things. Don't know why, but it works. Just keep adding shit till it makes icing, right? I should have broken that butter down. Did you see that? Just a piece of butter being spun around. To me, that looks like frosting. Like, are you gonna tell me that that's not frosting? I'm a fucking genius in the kitchen. That is definitely frosting. We're gonna cut the recording and come back when that's cooked because, you know, it's gonna take a minute to cook and a minute to cool down, so we'll be back. Okay, so I've pulled the cake out of the oven and I've left it for about a while to cool down. So, now as you can see, that's a cake. Now, I did cut the top off it because the top of it was like, it's very uneven, to put it simple. I'm pretty sure, like, if you have cake like that on top, you want to put like a little bit of a crumb coat on it to, I don't know, you put a coat on it to like pick up crumbs and shit, I think. Like, I thought like half an hour in a fucking fridge would be enough to cool a cake down, but I guess not. Let's not kid ourselves. This cake ain't going to no beauty contest, but a flavor contest, oh yes. I've tried like the top bit that I cut off. It actually tastes great. For like not having any clue what I'm doing, I'm happy with it. It's like just a disc kind of cake, you know? It's a flat cake. It's kind of like, you know, you cut a little slice and you enjoy that. You don't eat a whole big slice. It's like a small portion cake. And it is amazing. So that was my attempt at making a cake without instructions. Somehow, I made a cake and it tastes like cake. So I call that a success. You know, I made a cake with no instructions and it tastes like cake. Sure, it's not the most amazing cake in the world, but for no clue what I'm doing at all, I made cake. And that was the goal today. And it actually tastes pretty good. You just don't want a lot because it is full of a lot of sugar and chocolate. But it tastes good. If you got a massive sweet tooth, this cake is for you. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe. Goodbye.